Well, hey guys, I am Lauren with the Smarter Creative, and I am coming at you today to share my ultimate client onboarding Zap with you. If you are not familiar with Zapier, it's about to change your life. It is a automation software that can send information into the places that you want it at the timing that you want it, and saves me a lot of time. A lot of mental energy is freed up when I use Zapier. It just takes care of like super small details that I don't have to worry about. Now, I do use a paid version of Zapier, and it will come in here for a couple reasons. You might not, using their free plan, be able to filter tasks or run multi-steps like I have. So I have one Zap that is doing like 9 different steps in one Zap, and I like it because in your plans with Zapier, you are charged based on like your usage of how many Zaps you have and how many times like each Zap level runs. So I would rather put all my like steps to a Zap in one place, fits along the same lines of like what it does, and then have it pay for multi-steps. And that keeps my out-of-pocket cost on a monthly basis on the lower side. So yeah, let me go ahead and just walk you through the inside of my Zapier. All right, so inside of my Zapier, I have my new client do all this things Zap, and below I have a link to a freebie where you can actually see this written out and get a link to my actual Zap. So you can just copy it into your account. But I'm going to walk you through each of these steps and hopefully answer any questions you might have about this Zap and what happens with it. So the first thing that I do is have a trigger when a project status is updated inside of Dubsado. Dubsado is my CRM system of choice. Yours could be Honeybook or Kajabi or whatever, however you get someone to be a prospect into a client, you take their payment and you keep all that information organized. That is what triggers all of this. Basically, when they become a client, this program tells me that. So this is it pulls based on whenever a project status is updated, period. Now, I want to filter this to only have it being when the current status contains, for me, it's booked work. So whenever someone goes from a lead to a job, I consider that booked work and I want things to move forward onward. Yours could be job started. It could just be a job, but you want to make sure you filter it down because otherwise this Zap is going to run anytime a project changes inside of Dubsado. And I don't know about you, but I have a few times when the project status updates based on where they're at as a lead or a job, or maybe they're completed work, but I still want them to be active. So this is going to filter and not run anything else unless it matches exactly my text contains booked work. Now what happens is that information goes out into a few different places. The first thing I send it is into Airtable. Airtable I'm using to just keep a spreadsheet of clients worked. I honestly probably going to change this in the future to be just a Notion dashboard as I'm just trying to consolidate my tech stack, how many tools I'm using. But Airtable is just a great free option for keeping information. You could also use Google Sheets or Notion or whatever. But basically what I have is I have my 2021 clients and I just put their information down. If I have a job date, any source, their phone number, any key information, basically contact information of theirs, just in case, I don't know, if my Dubsado goes down, I just want one place to see all the clients that I've worked with in 2021, just another place to hold that information inside of my Airtable. And then I like to create a label inside of Gmail. So I actually have it. I have a folder for clients, and then I have client folders under that in my Gmail. So when I get an email from a client, I can just reply to it or do the task that's needed, and then I filter it into their folder. And once I finish working with them, I manually move that in from a client's folder into an archive, but it all stays inside of my Google. And I know it seems silly, like adding a new label isn't that big of a deal. It's not hard to do, but it takes time. And when I was getting ready to share this Zap with you all, Zapier told me that this Zap saves me over an hour a week in just tedious tasks. And I will take an hour a week in tedious tasks just to have this set up. So the next thing that happens for me is I create a database item inside of Notion, a client's project database item inside of my projects. So Notion is my project manager of choice, where I keep just detailed notes on the things I need to do. I'll do it inside of Notion. And then I have a couple fields that I can add into this. And if I have a due date, I'll have like the project start date on it. But that is how I set it up. And if you guys are interested in seeing like my Notion projects, I'd be happy to like show you that database. Then the next thing I do is adjust some date and times. So I'm going to take my start date, if I have one. I normally do, because I normally have booked VIP days. And then that's going to be like my job date. So what this does is it takes off 10 days from my start date of my project, and it calculates that time. And then this is for my next option, which is to create another database item, but this time I'm going to put it in my to-do base and create a welcome gift for, and then I have the name of my client and their company name. And then my task due is pulling from the formatter action here. So the task is due 10 days before the project starts for me to put it through. And this is so helpful because I can't tell you how many times I'll forget. Like maybe I book a VIP day 2 months in advance, and then I do not want to forget to put their welcome gift together. And I need it to alert me, to tell me, to remind me, all the things. So that's what this does. And then I also use Wave for my accounting software. So Wave is similar to QuickBooks, but it's free. Dubsado has some minimal bookkeeping options, but I prefer to keep it all inside of Wave. I've been using it for years and years with a couple other businesses of mine. So I go ahead and create the client company inside of my business account in Wave. So that way, when I am doing my bank reconciliation for the month, I can very easily attribute any payments received to a client. I could always double check that inside of my Dubsado, but I really like also having it inside of Wave for just another point of keeping those records clean and smooth. And then I just automatically put their name in, and email, phone number, and any addresses if I have it. And then the last thing I do automatically is create and update them inside of Flodesk. So Flodesk is my email management software, and it does bulk emailing and marketing for me. Dubsado does one-to-one emailing. Flodesk does like bigger campaigns, and if I want to just email everybody. So let's say I wanted to do just a bulk email to all my previous clients, just get a Merry Christmas email. I could do that inside of Flodesk because this trigger puts them into my segment of Dubsado job. And that just helps me understand like where those the segment those people are coming from inside of Flodesk. You do want to make sure you have permission to email them. I do that in my privacy and everything from as soon as you become a lead with me, you have given me access to market to you based on privacy policy and terms and conditions and whatever else that's all on the website. But I'm just going to put them inside and label them my job for a client that I have worked with, and make sure that they are inside of my Flodesk. So those are all the steps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate programs that I am using that's all linked together, and all the information goes everywhere for me and in a click of a button. So great. So again, that might have been helpful for you, or at least got your brain spinning on what automations you can set up to tie different programs together, different tech stacks together. You might be someone that has everything all inside of like a ClickUp, and all your automations are there and it does everything for you. That is amazing. That's not me. I like a few of these different programs for different reasons. I really like Notion. I like the simplicity of it, the cleanness of it. I like going there. It's not overwhelming to me. I've tried Asana and ClickUp and it just doesn't work for me. So I like my Zap to tie all these different programs together for me automatically. Down below, there is a link to get a PDF of this workflow, and in that PDF is a link to my Zap that you can get and then just like copy it over to your account, and you have a starting point. You might need to change some of the different triggers and the wording, especially for the filters, or if you have different smart fields that you have put together, or maybe you don't use Notion for your project management, you actually want it to create a card inside of Trello. That can happen. Just replace my Notion with Trello and add a card as you need it. I'm out here helping creative business owners work smarter in their business instead of harder, and I love this stuff. I love processes and doing all this. If you need help in an overhaul inside of your business and this is just super overwhelming, use the link below to book a call with me, a clarity call, and maybe I can actually help you do some of this inside of your business and just hire somebody out to do it, so you don't even have to take the mental work of doing this for your business. And lastly, do drop a comment below if this was helpful, and if you want to see anything else in similar to this, I'd love to create a video just for you. And lastly, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell to be notified. I am posting videos every week, and also join me on Instagram. I love giving tips and tricks over at The Smarter Creative. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We will see you next week.